Num, 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 num.
Blooper, I thought we were making a recipe. What are you noshing on?
None of your business.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. Cheese. You know, you guys do this and it makes me so nervous.
Why?
Well, you're not supposed to be noshing on cheese. I told you, if you want to nosh on some cheese, we can make something with some cheese.
Well, then make something with cheese.
Okay, cheese, what do you think?
Cheese.
All right.
He likes it.
So, to keep Blooper from noshing on some cheese, we're going to make something with some cheese.
So Blooper can nosh on some cheese.
Exactly. That was a little confusing, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of weird logic.
All right, so what we're going to make today are some 3-ingredient cheese crackers.
Cheese.
Oh, that sounds great, huh?
Yeah. So, you'd like to know what the first ingredient is.
Well, our first ingredient, of course, is cheese.
Cheese.
Yes.
There's a little mouse in there? A bag of mouse?
You know how cheese is just Cheese's name because he likes cheese. Cheese. See, you got it.
I like cheese too.
I know. No. So we are going
I never
to
get to have any fun.
but you're going to be able to get some real cheese.
Okay, this is a real cheese.
We are going to use 1.5 cups of the sharpest cheddar that you can get. The sharper the cheddar cheese is, the more cheese you're going to get flavor in your cheese crackers.
So folks, you want to get the razor sharp edged cheese.
Right, razor sharp cheddar cheese, 1.5 cups. Our next ingredient is butter.
Does it have to be the sharp type too?
Nope, but I would recommend using salted butter. Salted butter will give it a little bit more flavor in your crackers, and it keeps you from having to put salt on top of your crackers as well.
Cheese!
Exactly. So we are going to use 5 tablespoons of salted butter.
But not the sharp kind.
I don't even know if there is sharp butter.
Well, yes, this sharp cheese, I figured, it's a dairy product, whatever.
Well, that would mean there would be sharp milk.
Why isn't there?
I don't know.
Get on that.
We will. Our final ingredient is flour.
Flour.
You're not going to ask if it's sharp?
It's not a dairy product.
Oh, I see. All right.
Get with the program here.
I'm always behind. So we're going... Don't you laugh at me, or I'm going to let him nibble on you again.
He likes it.
I know, you two are so weird. We're going to use 1 cup of all-purpose flour. You could also use whole wheat flour. I've seen that in some of the recipes, but whatever type of flour you like. You don't need the self-rising, and I don't think that this works very well with a gluten-free flour. So use...
Sorry, folks.
Sorry, folks. So 1 cup of all-purpose flour. I'm going to start out with my 5 tablespoons of cold butter. It is in 1 tablespoon pieces. And to that, I'm going to add my 1.5 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. This package is 2 cups, so what I did was I just took out a 1/2 cup and then I'll use that for something else, but it makes measuring pretty easy. Now before I add the flour to this, I am just going to whiz this up a little bit. So all I wanted to do was distribute the butter a little bit more through the cheese so that when I add the flour, it doesn't clump up in areas and not show up in other areas. Now I'm just going to add all the flour at once. And that's 1 cup of flour. And now I'm going to process this until it turns into a ball of dough. This can take several minutes, so be really patient with it. You'll know that it's ready when you'll see this ball of dough just catching and rolling around and around and around in your processor. Did you catch that? All of a sudden you see this little ball of dough just rolling around and around. There are some little stray pieces here, that's fine. It's not going to all immediately catch, but you can tell that you have a really nice dough. And that's all it takes. You just throw everything into the food processor and turn it on and it does its own work. Okay, so now I'm just going to take the dough and all the little crumbly bits, because those are just fine as well. And I'm going to push them all together on a floured surface. You're not going to want to add too much more flour to this, so this is just keeping it from sticking to your countertop. I'm going to knead this together a little bit, but it doesn't really need to be kneaded like a bread would. you do still want a very crumbly texture to your cracker. So what we're going to do, mold this together. And all we've done is shape this into a tube, into a snake, into a log, whatever you want to call it, of dough that we are going to cut into rounds. So make sure it's pretty round. I tend to not make the most neat crackers or cookies or anything, but try to get it to be nice and even, especially even in terms of the width all the way around, because if it's not even, they won't cook correctly. Now I'm just going to wrap this up in cling wrap, plastic wrap, saran wrap, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to chill this for a half an hour and then we'll be ready to cut them up to bake. Okay, so this has been in the refrigerator for about a half an hour, and you can tell it's gotten nice and cold, and that's what we want. This is basically like a shortbread with cheese in it. So if you know shortbread, you know that you want to bake it while it's cold so that the butter will expand while it's baking, and then it makes it nice and light and crispy. So you want to now cut this into little crackers. And you want to try to keep these as even as possible in terms of how thick they are. So I'm trying to keep them as thin as I can, but I'm also trying to make sure that they're all the same thickness. Then I'm just putting them onto a parchment-lined baking sheet. The reason we're keeping them the same thickness is the same reason that we're keeping them the same diameter, and that is so that they will all cook at about the same time, because you don't want to have some of them overbaked and some of them underbaked. You have a little bit of wiggle room, but you just want to make sure that you get them as even as you possibly can. Now this is this is a short dough, or a short crust, I might want to call it. It is like a shortbread, so it's not overly worked, which means that as you cut it, it may fall apart a little bit. Don't worry about it, because it does hold together as it all bakes. And of course, the cheese in it is going to help hold it together quite well. If this was a shortbread, a sweet shortbread with sugar in it, you might want to make sure that it's held together a little bit more. But because we have the protein and the fat from our cheese, this is going to be really great. So look at all the crackers that we got out of this, and we still have quite a bit left. So I'm going to cut up the rest of this into some more crackers, and then I'm going to put them both into a 350-degree preheated oven for about 8 to 12 minutes. It depends on how thick you make these. You're going to want to watch them after 8 minutes. Watch them quite carefully because they can burn. They are quite thin. And we are just going to take them out when they are turning brown and they are crisping up, and then we can take a look at what they look like. All right, these are just out of the oven. As you can see, they're golden brown. That's because I turned them about halfway, a little bit more than halfway through cooking. The bottoms are a little bit lighter just because the original bottoms had a little bit more time to cook, but I didn't want to overbake these. These I am going to put down on a rack. I have another rack right here. What I want to do is take these off after just a minute or so and put them onto this cookie sheet so that they stay nice and crispy. We want these to be like a cracker. Now they're going to be a little more crumbly than, say, a Wheat Thins cracker or a Ritz cracker or something like that. It's because they have no eggs or anything in them. They're basically a shortbread with some cheese in them. They're really great, and if you keep them in an airtight container for about a week or two, they will last, and you can freeze them for as long as you want. I thought I told you not to be nibbling on cheese.
I am nibbling on the cheese cracker.
Oh, okay.
Mind your business.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Cheese. Cheese. All right.
Told you.
Oh, you never know in this kitchen what's going to happen. So these crackers are really great. They are nice. Aren't they nice? Blooper really likes them. They are crispy and they're crumbly and they taste a lot of cheese. Remember, if you use a really sharp cheddar cheese, it's going to really make these very cheesy. And of course, the people in your kitchen are really going to appreciate that, right, Cheese?
Cheese.
Right, Blooper?
Cheese.
So these are really easy to make. They take no time at all. It's just the longest amount of time is the amount of time where you just need to rest them in the refrigerator. And it's a great snack, and it's great for. Hey, you're getting crumbs everywhere.
I'll clean up.
Now, what do you think you are, a cracker monster?
Yes.
I see. So this is great for a
I hope
party.
that's not copyrighted.
Probably not. This is great for a party, great for a snack, and it's really easy to make, and of course it's only 3 ingredients. Blooper, now what are you doing? You just ate a whole plate of cheese crackers.
Yes, and he's eating the remnants.
That's cheese. That's monsters cheese. And mice are really, really gross. So, we have our...
I don't pick on what you do much.
Now we have our cheese dentist or cheese floss, or I don't even know what to call you. He appreciates cheese. He appreciates these cheese crackers. And we have our Blooper who appreciates our cheese crackers.
Yes.
If you appreciated our cheese crackers, what can the people do here?
Well, they could comment down below over there.
Yep, you can leave a comment down below. Let us know if you've tried these cheese crackers and what other types of foods we can make for you. How about, and what else? Cheese? Cheese. Right, you could subscribe. Subscribing really helps us.
Is that what he said?
You know, I never know, but I always just figure it can be whatever we want.
Convenient.
Yeah. We are here every Thursday with another 3-ingredient recipe. On weekends, my cat George, you know George.
Yes, he's the yummy cat.
You and the animals. George is here to talk about good self-esteem, and on Tuesdays, I talk about long hair. So why don't you hang out with us?
Notice I don't want to eat the long hair.
No, it gets stuck in your teeth.
Really stringy.
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us this time. We'll see you again next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Cheese.
You said it.
How's his mouth? You need to brush your teeth. Oh, jeez. You need to brush your teeth a little bit. Monster dentist. There we go. Okay.